Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the southwest spawn of Westfield, and it's under the command of BunnieNutz, and that's the account of the other half of Skins. In fact, actually, I think, and Tane's daughter, so Rusty's daughter, and she's playing on her NA account. Now, she's been asked to platoon with somebody else. In fact, it's the T92 HMC, and something unusual is going to happen in this battle, which we don't often see, because Wargaming, quite some time ago, actually made a new rule that said that Arty could not platoon together before they went into battle, which makes it very difficult for Arty players to have games with their friends if their friends also want to play Arty at the same time. And we think that's rather unfair, because they don't put a rule saying you can't have 2 tank destroyers in the same platoon, or 2 heavy tanks, or 2 light tanks. We think it's discrimination against Arty, but we know why they're doing it. They're saying that Arty players were working together as a team to have really good results and focus fire on specific enemy targets. Well, in this battle, the Arty do work together, and you can see that BunnieNutz is platooned with both of the Arty in her team, the GW Tiger P and the T92 HMC. So they are working together, but of course they don't know each other, they're not friends, and it's unfortunate that, you know, people who do have friends and want to play together with their friends are just not being allowed to unless they dynamically platoon in battle, which is what BunnieNutz has done. BunnieNutz has got the 8-inch howitzer. That makes this the M55, because that's the one that had the 8-inch gun. And the 8-inch howitzer is capable of 1050 alpha, which it penetrates 52mm of armour, and it's got 11 meters burst radius. Now, she got a near miss there on the LT432, and she's now aiming up to the north. Now, the M53 M55 actually has a turret, and there's one of a few Arty that actually do have turrets, enclosed turrets, which means that she can use vents, but it also means that the turret can turn, and that means she's got a very wide arc of fire over which she can hit enemy tanks. And you saw a tree just go down there in the distance. That's normally an indication that somebody's at home, probably a tank destroyer, and more than likely an SU-130PM, because that's what was seen in that general area. I think that's going to hit the rock face though. Yep, it did. You never know, it might have done some damage to the SU-130. I think she hasn't actually platooned with the other Arty yet, but she's had the offer to platoon, and I think that she will eventually. Oh, she did stun that SU-130PM, and she might have done some damage to him. He's pulling away from that spot. Well, BunnieNutz looking at the Gorilla 15 area, but she can't see him because he was behind that building. A lot of tank destroyers tend to go down to that building because they can shoot across the valley at any enemies who try to advance. It's quite a good position. Plus you can turn around and shoot at the tanks on the hill, so it's well worth going to that position. Direct hit for 472 directly after her platoon, or rather the other Arty managed to hit him. And BunnieNutz is still not responding to the T92, but she really ought to join in platoon. The SU-130PM's gone back again. Now that thing's got very thin armour. If she was to hit that, she'll probably get a penetrating shot and maybe even wipe him out the game altogether. Rounds out. No, it went long this time and landed to one side. I think she was aiming as if he was going to move forward, but he didn't on this occasion. She's changing position again. It avoids counter battery if you do this, and on the NA server I've noticed, because I actually opened an account over there, I've noticed that a lot of players on the NA server do engage in counter batteries, so it is necessary to move about. If you don't, you can actually get taken out. Oh, she got a lovely double shot there. She damaged the M103 and the IS-22. And they both took damage immediately afterwards, so she's picked up some stun assist as well. She got 129 hit points in the M103 and 368 hit points in the IS-22. Changing position again. This time she's decided to go into the bushes near where she was before. 32.67 seconds is the reload time, but you'd expect it to be quite long because it's two-part ammunition. It's a big hefty shell, and there's also a bag of powder to actually fire the thing as well. Rounds out on the T-54, lands long. She pulled back, so we didn't see exactly where the shell went, and she's still getting requests to platoon with the T-92. He's got 2 kills now, that guy. Okay, Bunny's going for the T-54. She might be able to get him with a splash kill. She's almost loaded. Oh, before she can shoot, he was taken out of the game. But I'm afraid the enemy heavies in the north have wiped out all our enemy heavies. All our heavies, I should say. And that means now that the next sighting we get from one of those enemies is going to be from the Scorpion G seeing them. And he's just at the base of the village. She's looking for a counter battery, trying to see any tracer from the enemy Arty. There's a tree down over there. That would indicate that there's one of the enemy Arty is in that spot, but she's out of range of that position. Yep, the M55 can't fire over the entire distance of the battlefield. She is right in the corner as well. AMX-30B's been spotted. Now the beeping she's getting on a regular basis because he's renewing the request to platoon. And she really ought to platoon. Going for the SE-130PM. Oh! And she has platooned, I think, now, because that was showing as if she's actually received it from a platoon mate. So I think she has platooned with him. So I'm guessing that she has. She's changed her position to actually come lower because that AMX-30B from across the valley might be able to spot her when she fires. From this position it's a little more difficult because the ground actually hides her. The IS-22 has been spotted by our Scorpion G. Lining up a shot. He's a one shot. Rounds out. Yep, got him. Nicely done. So 1 kill for BunnieNutz, 1 kill for the T-92 and 2 kills for the GW Tiger P. They're in the advantage now because there's only one enemy left. It's the Striv S1 plus 2 Artys, the Object 261 and the GW Tiger P. They lost their M53, M55 earlier in the battle. She's changing position by going up the hill. It can actually be an advantage to go up the hill sometimes. I remember once taking an FB304 up the hill to shoot at the enemy, and an enemy tank appeared to my right, so I quickly dashed out of the bushes and shotgunned the guy to death in a fairly quick moment. And now she can see there was an M53 behind those bushes. Somebody else killed him, one of the members of the team. There's the Striv. Dialing in, she fires before she was fully dialed in, and that's why the shell wasn't accurate. You must let it dial in fully to get an accurate shot. It's so important. I mean, crucially important actually, mainly I would say, because when there's only one enemy left and it happens to be a tank destroyer like a Striv,
support my position.
It can be very difficult to pin them down. Oh, there goes the Striv. Somebody got him. It was the Gorilla 15. We're loaded. We're going for the GW Tiger. She's trying to line up the shot where he's going to be. Rounds out. It's a 4-second flight time. And yes, there, she got him.
Requesting support.
I don't know why it keeps saying requesting support, but the T-92 is the one where it's not indicating that they have fully platooned. I think they have. No, he's been killed. We're looking for the last enemy now, the Object 261. They're trying to guess where he is. He might be in this area. That might be why there was... There he is! She fires the round in. It wasn't fully accurate, wasn't fully dialed in, but the Gorilla 15 was about to get there. And yes, it has. They've won. And it does look like the T92 was fully platooned. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's the third class tank of a BunnieNutz in the M53, M55. She managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 9 in this one. And no other medals, I'm afraid, but she did get 2 kills in the game, which is significant, and her win rate from the battle was 2,859. But what was most significant was the fact that it was 3 Arty in the platoon, and they were all at the top of the platoon alongside the Gorilla 15, who picked up a high caliber and a tank sniper in that game for 4,631 hit points of damage, which was the highest damage in the game. The GW Tiger P came second on damage with 3,285 hit points, and then came the AMX-30B on the enemy team with 3,241. The T92 managed 2,827 hit points of damage, and BunnieNutz got 2,438 hit points of damage. So these 3 between them managed to pick up over 8,000 hit points in damage. Yes, and a huge sum of hit points. In fact, it's closer to 8,500 hit points of damage during that battle, which is pretty astonishing to say the least. When it came to kills, again, the Gorilla 15 managed to get the highest with 3 kills, the GW Tiger P also 3, and the GW Tiger P on the enemy team also got 3. And BunnieNutz managed to get 2 kills alongside the T92, the Kanonen Jagdpanzer 105, the Gorilla 15 and the Striv S1 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, though, it was the Arty that did the best. The GW Tiger P managed 1,223. Then we've got the M53, then we've got the AMX M451, I should say, with 889, and then we got BunnieNutz with 731. And the main reason the GW Tiger P was higher was because, although he did more damage than BunnieNutz did, he was a lower tier. He was tier 8 in a tier 10 game, and obviously he was going to earn extra XP for all the higher tier targets that he was hitting. BunnieNutz fired 12 rounds, she got 2 direct hits, no penetrations but 8 splash. Damage of 2,438 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. She damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 2, and did 709 hit points of stun assistance of 6 stuns. 36,984 credits, and after resupply of ammunition took away 14,544 credits. She received 1,096 XP, got 7,131 for completing mission and events, and took away 8,227 experience points altogether. Now, I think my main criticism of this video would be the fact that BunnieNutz still in the habit of pulling away after she fires a shell, so we don't actually see what actually happens to the shell, where it lands. Does it land long? Does it land short? We can't see because she's pulled back too far for us to actually analyse that. The other thing, which is to constructive criticism, is to say that BunnieNutz needs to dial in her aim before she shoots. If she fires prematurely, and a lot of players will fire prematurely, then the shell won't accurately hit the target. It'll be in the same vicinity, but it won't accurately hit the target. So if you actually load the aim timer, which I've got fitted and you can see to the right of the main site on this replay, you can get that from Aslains. If you add the aim timer, you can see when you're going to be fully dialed in and wait those few seconds that will make all the difference to increase the amount of damage you do. It's a mistake that a lot of Arty players do make. They fire prematurely, and as a result they don't end up with the damage they would expect to get. But I think they're trying to be too hasty because they feel that if they don't shoot soon, then one of their other teammates is going to get the kill instead of them, and they think that they have to get the shot off there and then. I'd say wait just a few seconds and you'll be surprised the amount of extra damage you get as a result. But lastly, my comment is to say, very well done that all 3 Arty A platooned and B managed to get so much damage in that game. You see them all together right at the top of the table, and it's refreshing to see that. And of course our plea to Wargaming would be, let Arty platoon, let them enter into the battle in the platoon of 3, and that way you'll get fewer battles with 3 in. Of course, if you let them platoon all 3 together, you at least have some battles with no Arty in, and of course that means that non-Arty players can get some relief. But if you don't allow Arty players to platoon together, all that's going to happen is they'll keep applying to join the game, and they'll platoon in battle dynamically, and so they'll still have the same effect as if they were platooned right from the start. But the point is that at least if Arty can platoon and enter the battle in platoon, then friends can actually enjoy the game together. And we'd appreciate it if you could actually take away that rule that says that Arty cannot enter the battle platooned with other Arty. So please take that off. And it's silly really, because 3 Arty can platoon dynamically in the game, so let them platoon right from the start, please. Anyway, that's my rant over. Good game by BunnieNutz, excellent results for the Arty, and thank you for watching this video.